Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are enjoying your day. Honey, it is time to dish this tea. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that ex-pastor Lamar Whitehead, I'm sorry, has been indicted, and he is going to spend 9 years in jail because he has been scamming the parishioners out of their money, right? Among other things. Now we remember Lamar Whitehead from the first time I heard about Whitehead was when he was supposedly allegedly robbed in his own church during church service. So and he had all these. They said he always walked around with the finest things, finest clothes, cars, all this and all that, devoted parishioners. But he was doing his services out of a storefront, honey, in New York. So I'm thinking, okay, that don't match. So anyway, I also remember when he was doing a church service, and when which he was speaking very derogatory about women online. He was calling them B's and H's and all of this and all that. So a woman is shouting, and she walks in front of him. He steps off the pew and grabs her in the back of the head. Now I don't know if that was supposed to be that way, but it didn't seem like it. It seemed like it was very impromptu, right? So anyway, he will be serving 9 years in jail. He also said that he was allegedly a mentee of the city's mayor, the city's current mayor. He said he was a mentee of him. That current mayor, well, I'm not gonna say his name right now on purpose, is also being investigated for possible illegal activities when it came to fundraising in his campaign, right? So, but Mr. Lamar Whitehead is going to, like I said, be spending 9 years in prison. He also scammed a lot of his parishioners, but I think it was pretty extra, very, very, very repulsive when he scammed this elder lady that attended his church out of her life savings, right? He scammed her out of his life savings. Ain't no telling who else he scammed and what other scams that he done. I even think that it allegedly might have been a scam when his church was allegedly robbed during church service. I don't know what that was for, but that never felt right to me. But we're gonna have to see what happens. He will be carrying out a 9 year prison sentence, right? Like the thing says, for several financial scams. So that's pretty the tea on Lamar Whitehead. So, honey, let's move on to the real tea, something I really want to talk about, right? So, for a couple of days, we have we have been talking about the drama between oh child, it made me laugh. Between child ArmonWiggins, the TEA-GIF FoxSoul, and that whole situation, right? So in case you guys didn't hear about it, let me give you a recap, right? So it was Al Reynolds' birthday on TEA-GIF FoxSoul, and they wanted to do, like a birthday roast, right? So ArmonWiggins did his vicious roast concerning Al Reynolds. There was a lot of outcry about that. Claudia Jordan honey was getting her whole life, right? But there was a lot of fallout when it came to that roast, right? So Armand did the roast. He said a lot of things that were very mean spirited, right? And he hasn't even been. Some say he hasn't even been on his show long enough to get this sort of tea, right? On Al Reynolds, right? And so we know that Al is one of the original members, along with Claudia. We know that Armand. We know that Lord Jesus, FunkyDineva chose to kind of quit the show because of a salary dispute. They didn't want to pay him what he said was his worth, right? And there was also some beef between him and Claudia in the background, right? So Claudia and FunkyDineva clearly don't like each other. There was a back and forth. a little short back and forth between the two on social media. I felt like the back and forth was real passive aggressive. But FunkyDineva kept it cuter than Claudia, right? Because Claudia is messy. Claudia is very messy, right? So I have my own theory about this. So anyway, Armon does the roast on Al Reynolds, right? And after Armon does the roast on Al Reynolds, the show was over. Honey, Al immediately called FunkyDineva. Now, FunkyDineva was actually online live at the time that he called. And Dineva was like, Al, I'm live. And Al was like, I don't care. Because, honey, Al was pissed. And he went on to say what he had to say about that roast. He didn't appreciate it. He wasn't happy about it, right? So, honey, after that, the channel, the file app continued. But can I just say that on the sideline, FunkyDineva was getting his whole life, right? Because when he got into it with, well, it really wasn't into it, a really passive aggressive back and forth with Claudia Jordan. Claudia and Jordan wanted to, bring out her inner Karen when it came to FunkyDineva because Claudia talked too much. In my opinion, every show that she does, including Housewives, including those Tubi dramas, she brings drama everywhere she goes, right? She is her own worst enemy. That's why, and I believe that is why I think that she politicked and got her way when it comes to ArmonWiggins. Now they could have gotten an array of people, to replace FunkyDineva, right? Now I don't know what I think it was Claudia that wanted ArmonWiggins. I think she wanted to weaponize ArmonWiggins, and the reason why I have been thinking that is exactly because of what happened with Al on his roast day, right? Now it's also said that along with FunkyDineva not getting along with Claudia not getting along with FunkyDineva, she absolutely allegedly can't stand Al Reynolds either, right? So I think that she weaponized ArmonWiggins. I think that she whispered in his ear about a lot of things that, allegedly were going on with Al Reynolds. And so because of that, and I think that ArmonWiggins he is also his own worst enemy. Now we remember Armon. The first time I was introduced to ArmonWiggins was when him and TashaK got together. TashaK brought him on. The whole situation lasted only 28 days. TashaK got rid of him. Armon read her down to the ground. They went back and forth for a while. This was years ago, right? But I still remember. Armon did not keep it cute, and because he did not keep it cute when it came to TashaK, honey, he became very popular with the bloggers, right? Now Armon has went on to get into it with Jason Lee, and some Nicki Minaj. Not a lot of people like ArmonWiggins. Armon seems like I think he's talented, but I think he is one of those people that are going to be wasted talent because he cannot contain himself. He is very catty, he is very petty, which is nothing wrong with that. But Armon is very insecure about something. So now, and then another thing, maybe he insecure, honey, about them big old horse teeth veneers that he got placed into his mouth. Child, I don't know what the deal is, but like I say, in my opinion, he's his own worst enemy, right? So, like I said, way back when Claudia and Dineva got into it, Dineva told everybody, why he left. He said he did not get fired. It was a pay dispute. He said he felt like he was not getting paid his worth. They wanted him to start doing more work for less money. He said that they were all getting paid the same thing, right? So Claudia, fast forward, so TashaK, honey, enters into the picture, right? After Al was on the phone and FunkyDineva was getting his whole life because I think that Dineva was justified with this call from Al, right? And so so TashaK, she said her and Claudia had a dinner, right? Now I don't know if this dinner was before or after the roast, but Tasha said that Claudia was spilling the tea for her, right? She was spilling the tea about the pay grade. She was spilling the tea about Al Reynolds. She said that she was tired of working with the gays. Tasha said that she herself has had a problem not with the gays, but with the Fs. Y'all know what that means. And Claudia said she was tired of working with the Fs, the gays, and she wanted to bring in a heterosexual, anchor, right? Co-anchor, right? And so I'm thinking, well, did she use Armon, to really get rid of Armon, because he wasn't carrying the weight of FunkyDineva, right? He couldn't bring in the views, right? Like I said, Dineva left and he went back to his own channel and he said, I can be making it and I can keep all the money and I don't have to split it, right? So I think she brought Armon on because she knows that Armon is gullible. She knows that he's insecure and she knows that he is very well manipulated, right? And he's also eager to be a star because he already thinks that he is a star in his mind. So she set out to manipulate him to get rid of Al. But now, before the roast, also they were also bringing on a fourth host because, like I said, oh boy, wasn't pulling in the numbers. Okay, Horsemouth was not pulling in the numbers, right? So they brought people on like Storm Monroe or Lunel. I don't even know why they didn't keep Storm Monroe. I think that Storm Monroe would have been very well for the show, right? But I don't think that Claudia could have manipulated Storm Monroe because Storm Monroe has been in the business forever, honey, and he know all the tricks. I don't. Now we're gonna have to see um what happens next. But as a result of all of this drama right here, FoxSoul has said it's going to be taking a couple of weeks hiatus. So I'm assuming when they come back that ArmonWiggins is not going to be a co-host anymore because I think Armon sealed the deal. I think Claudia, whatever it was that she needed Armon to do, he was done and now he is gone, right? Now also, like I said, they're going to be FoxSoul announced they will be taking a couple of weeks off. I don't know if they will be returning. The show has been doing not very well. Dineva goes on at the same time that they do, and Dineva, pretty much took his people with him. And so that is why the show is not doing as well as it was before, right? Now, mind you, this was Claudia's idea. She is the one that brought this show to this TEA-GIF show to FoxSoul, right? Every project that she do, remember, she messes it up because she talked too much. She is her own worst enemy as well, right? So after this, she went around. She's been going around Instagram and everywhere else trying to defend herself, right? Trying to make it seem like she is not colorist, she is not homophobic, trying everything in the world. So Claudia pops up on the Messy Sweet Pots show, and she's bringing out her inner Karen, no, her inner blackness, honey. And she's trying to explain to the people what went down, all this and all that. She is innocent. It is not her fault. She loves the gays. She especially loves black women. After now, some of us remember when she made those really really colorist statements concerning a all black party. She said she don't know why it was. I think it was her cousin or her niece's all black party or something, right? And she said something to the liking of, I don't know if it was a good idea to have an all black party, because all I can see is black and teeth or something like that, right? And then she went on to say that the only people that she can see is people like her and her niece and somebody else. She said, right? I was like, girl, really? That's what you're doing? Now I don't know if she had too much to drink or something or whatever. But anyway, she brought out her inner Karen once again, trying to make it seem like it is not her fault that this show has ended up on hiatus because of ArmonWiggins' very disrespectful roast, very distasteful roast. Now Al said what he said to FunkyDineva online because he was pissed off. He didn't care that he was online live or anything. And so really what it exposed to me was a hostile work environment really that FunkyDineva hinted at, right? He hinted at it, right? So he was being very classy and very emotionally intelligent when it came to him leaving FoxSoul because in my opinion he doesn't want to stand in the way of any future dealings that he can have, with major networks or whatever, right? He wants to be doing what Al Reynolds does. He wants to be on the red carpet, FunkyDineva wants to do things like that. He has, aspirations for his career, and he didn't want to do that. So that's why he didn't want to really get into it with anybody at Fox. So he just, bowed out gracefully, right? Now, that is not what happened with ArmonWiggins. Now, ArmonWiggins realized that he done been played, right? So today he done posted stuff on his community wall, right? He says there ain't no friends in the game. You ain't learned that yet. And he's talking to himself, right? And so, so on one of the posts, he says something to the effect of, I'm glad I learned earlier in my YouTube career that anyone you meet in the creator space, slash or same niche cannot and will not be your real friend. Now, I think he's talking about TashaK, right? Now, he did learn that the hard way, but come on now, we're talking about Tasha, right? Are we even surprised that after Tasha had that dinner and got all that tea, she wasn't gonna spill it? Maybe, Claudia, probably told her that because Claudia knew this was coming so that Tasha could spill the tea. She might have told Tasha to wait, till this roast happened and then spill the tea. We don't know what Claudia and TashaK, had in the works or whatever. And Tasha over there talking about me and Claudia ain't friends and blah blah this and blah blah that. Girl, we know. We know, Tasha, but I think that it was a plan, right? But anyway, she said, "Man, I refuse." She said, he said, "Cause child, I be out here crashing out at the weirdness, right?" He said, "But luckily, the lesson has already been taught, so carry on. I'm not shocked or surprised." But I disagree, Armon. I think that you are shocked and surprised because Claudia, honey, has done you the same way, pretty much the same way that Tasha did you, right? And so um he goes on after that. He writes another post. It says, sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough, or I get so much in my head I don't realize the impact I've made. Well, you're realizing it now. You're realizing the aftermath, because honey, you pretty much done been fired and gonna be replaced, or either the show has been tanked, right? Whatsoever, right? See, and then something happens and reveals everything to me. He says, I now know that silence slash quietness doesn't always equal failure. It actually means success in a major way. Meaning you trying to learn how to tame your tongue, not to be so messy, because you messing up opportunities for yourself, because you talk too much, because you do too much, okay, because you too extra. But anyway, he goes on to say that it's always good every now and then to have a moment of chaos. Really, because that's when you get to see the real intentions of people. He says when you're um he says when you're I don't think I got of it. When your back is perceived to be against the wall, child, you really get to see who has your back, who's been jealous AF. Now I think he's talking about Claudia. He said, well, really, and Al, and who's obsessed and been watching your every move. Now I think that is Claudia right there, right? Because she played you to the left, homeboy, because she knew she could. Her and Tasha might have even had a conversation about you, child, allegedly. Right now, everything I say here is alleged because this is just, my opinions, right? Said these things matter because sometimes I get comfortable in my own world and in my head because, honey, you are insecure, but you want to, you want to be perceived as winning. You want to be perceived as a star, but you're getting in your own way, right? He said, and then boom, all of this energy comes towards me. You're pulling that energy towards you, Armon, in my opinion. And I realized, he said, oh, you are really him. And the world is watching. Majority of them will wait until your hands are tied to show themselves. Child. But when it's quiet, just know that means you're winning and they hate it, but they still watching. Well, Armand, you're going to retreat back to your channel. Okay, because in my opinion, Claudia used you for what she wanted to use you for, and now your work is done. This is another lesson learned. And my thing is, if he really wants to be in the industry and he really wants to grow and become a TV personality, or whatever he wants to be, he's going to have to temper himself, right? Temper his attitude, temper himself, and and be smarter. He's got to work smarter, right? Not ignorant he's got to work smarter. So anyway, y'all, that is all I got. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. And also, as you're reading over this, I just want to put up this up here because FunkyDineva, real fast, I almost forgot, child. I almost forgot. FunkyDineva responded to some of the things that TashaK said during her video about him. Right now, TashaK, now you know you've been picking with FunkyDineva for years, and FunkyDineva has never gone back and forth with TashaK because he don't need that type of drama. Now he simply told her that he says, quote, TashaK, I never wanted any sort of adversarial relationship with you or any other person on social media. See, Dineva is very smart. Don't get it twisted. He said, I don't take digs, throw shots or shade at you or any other YouTuber. Tasha does, though. She showed thrown several shots at FunkyDineva over the years, trying to pick him into an argument. Honey, he simply is not going, right? Or any YouTuber. He said, and I honestly thought, he said, and I honestly wish y'all would grant me the same courtesy, right? She said he says there is enough celebrity gossip out there for us not to be going at each other. Child, but all of the celebrity bloggers always go at each other, okay? Whether aggressively or passive aggressively, they all go at each other. Child. So anyway, he said after knowing each other, he said that has been and always will be my position. He says, with that being said, there are certain parts of your commentary that are flat out not true. Exactly, as speculative on your part at best. He said I've taken the liberty to correct those things because he did do another video in response to the lies that TashaK told. Now I don't know if TashaK was lie roasting, you know, if she was sharing her opinion, or if that's what Claudia told her. Now you gotta realize that her and Claudia had that dinner and they be texting back and forth. She showed some of the text messages to prove that she had in fact been talking to Claudia Jordan, right? So Claudia might have told her that, especially about the pay dispute, right? So anyway, he says outside of that, your commentary was pretty spot on. In all honesty, I am glad y'all are starting to see why it's so easy. It was so easy for me to walk away from this show. And I think that Dineva is correct. It actually, in my opinion, was so easy for him to walk away from this hot mess because, you know, he didn't want to be around Claudia and in that very hostile work environment because he didn't want to have to, you know, clock out on Claudia, you know, and pretty be self-destructive and diminish any future chances that he has to be, you know, in the industry. Because like I said, FunkyDineva, I think number one, he wants to walk the red carpet. Honey, he wants to do an Al Reynolds. You know, he wants to be on GMA, you know, red carpet or E News red carpet, you know, doing his commentating and interviewing the stars. That's what I think that Dineva wants to do. I actually think that's what ArmonWiggins wants to do. But honestly, I think, like I said, Armon is his own worst enemy, and I think that Dineva is very smart, and I think that he's doing absolutely what he's supposed to do, which is separate himself from the drama. He was very dignified when he left FoxSoul. He really didn't say anything derogatory. Claudia tried to pick him into an argument just to make him look bad because he handled the situation that he did. He said no. Because he knew his worth, and I think that she did not appreciate it because she is the creator of the show, and she says the president of Fox loves her, whatever that means, and all of this and all that. So, but I think that the way FunkyDineva said no to what they were wanting to pay him, but like I said, like because he knows his worth, I think Claudia didn't appreciate that, right? But anyway, y'all, this is all I got. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. And while you're down there, please check out my products bag to see if there's any Fenty hair products that you want to purchase. I would appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe the video. Like I said, let me know what you think about it. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Peace.